had just been promoted to my very first executive role in human resources, and it was concurrent with a merger. So all of the players were new. I had all new executive stakeholders to support. Half my team was new. I had a new manager. And because life is sometimes messy, I was going through a divorce, and I was navigating a new life in a new role as a single mom. Now, we all know this kind of stuff is illegal, but I was worried. I thought they're going to think, oh, how in the world is she going to manage this big leap of scope and scale with all this stress going on at home? Or is she really going to be able to pull off the travel needed from Baltimore to Manhattan with a little boy at home? Or she's awfully young. There'll be a better time. Let's just see how all this plays out. Maybe promote her later. So I kept very quiet. Now, my very first assignment in this new role was to build a diversity strategy for the new merged organization. I thought, let's build a diversity council. We'll bring people together from all areas of the business: sales, marketing, customer service, IT, and different race, age, gender, sexual orientation. The idea was we would really listen to people's personal experiences, to understand what it was like for them working on both sides of this company, and use that to inform our strategy, to figure out what resources we needed to bring in, what policies needed to change. And I have to tell you, it was going so well. People were really opening up. They were vulnerable. They were sharing their personal experiences, and everyone was really listening. Juan said, the other day, I was at an executive offsite, and one of our senior leaders, who, by the way, has met me at least 3 times, walks into the door of the hotel, hands me his keys because he thought that I was the valet. Sharika says, as a Black woman, sometimes I will share an idea in meetings and people will just keep talking. And then the white guy sitting right next to me will say practically the same thing, and suddenly all eyes are on him, listening to what he has to say. And Susan said, I'm a single mom. I work in a 24/7 contact center in the Bronx. My schedule is changing every 3 weeks. I cannot possibly keep reliable daycare in a situation like that. I am on stage 4 for attendance, and I am about to lose my job. And you guys, I really need this job. We took all that into consideration, and we had policy recommendations and resource recommendations, and it was 3 weeks before we were getting ready to present this strategy to senior leadership. And Sharika walks into my office, hands me this picture from my desk, and says, Karin, you are a fraud. I came by your office the other day to drop off some papers. There are pictures all over your desk of you and a little boy and no man. You're a single mom. All this time, you had to share our personal experiences to inform the strategy. And not once does it occur to you that your experiences are relevant here too. The truth is, executives like you are afraid to be who you are at work. And if you're afraid, we're afraid. This strategy is incomplete, and you know it. And Sharika was absolutely right. I was afraid to be who I was at work, and I wasn't the only one. The strategy was incomplete, and I knew it. So I got everyone together on an emergency conference call the next day, and I said, you guys, I've got something to tell you. I'm a single mom. And they said, oh yeah, we know. Sharika already told us. And we went back and talked about what needed to happen next. And we included executive storytelling and executives being vulnerable and sharing their experiences and how they've overcome situations. The entire Diversity Council was invited back 1 year later to New York City for this fancy celebration because we had won this award for the impact that that strategy had had on our employee engagement results. And I look across the table, and there is Sharika, and she's smiling. She knew I was no longer a fraud because I wasn't afraid.